This is the Ben Thanh Market. The bus dropped me off on the backside. I don't see a way to get inside. I think it might be closed. Maybe because of holiday or just the time. I'm not going to walk all the way to the front just to see it because I'm sure it's more of all the same. I love some of the designs, but these shirts are so cheap when you wash them once or twice. Their history. In the U.S., I take a large. Here, I take a 3 or 4X, and then after you wash them, you know they're so tight you can't even wear them again. So this is cheap stuff. But yeah, see, like these main entrances are locked up. I might be able to get in if I go all the way around to the front. That's a few blocks walk. This place is huge. It covers many city blocks. Luggage, t-shirts, hats, flowers, jewelry, fruit, any kind of cheap stuff you want, it's here. SIM cards, cell phones, more luggage. And you know what I've noticed, and I don't know why it is, but in this part of the world, everywhere I've been, luggage is not cheap at all. You would think you would get a good deal on some luggage, but you can't. They charge U.S. prices, so no need to buy luggage here. Unless the airline loses your luggage, you need a new one to get home with. Cheap jewelry. And yeah, appears to be all more the same. No sense in getting too far into that. And I just needed to get off the bus and eventually eat some lunch, but I'm scared. All right, here's one of those buildings I was talking about. Huge skyscraper. It's never been finished. It's right here on the Saigon River, right in the belly of the beast. It's never been finished. It's amazing. You can see the bridge. Last night it was all lit up. It is right directly next to the hotel. I think the fireworks will be shot off from right around there. Got a little reprieve from the heat or some clouds today because it was blistering hot. I got a little bit lucky on that. And then here's another one of those squares. Last night it was jumping. There was thousands of people here, but you can see Mr. Cobra with this little Vietnamese hat. Yeah, it was really, really jumping last night. And I'm sure it will be again tonight because people will be down here to try to see the fireworks. Of course, that'll be at midnight. coffee shop. I walked by there this morning, and then the statue of a famous warrior. His name escapes me, but he had to fight the Mongols, and he said if he didn't win, he would never come here again. Oh, the bus has stopped. All right, back moving again. So let's check out the statue. This beautiful manicured area, totally the opposite of District 5 where I was. And there he is. All right, well, I'm at the War Remnants Museum, and just spent an hour and change inside. It's 3 floors, tons of exhibits, hundreds of pictures, hundreds of documents, fair amount of information in English, and you could spend hours in there. If you were a student of the war, you could literally spend hours and hours and hours in there. But it was real crowded, and I didn't feel like I should be flapping my gums while I was in there, so I just spent time absorbing the information. Um, it's really sobering to read all the information, and I do not claim to be in any way, shape, or form an expert on any of it. In fact, I'm kind of embarrassed that I don't know more about it. Um, while the museum is really well put together and very informative, it's definitely critical of the United States. It doesn't present any kind of information. It's some of it's clearly propaganda. Some of it sounds true. I absolutely do not claim to know what's true or not true. All I can say is war sucks. That I'm sure I can say, right? So this is the outside courtyard here. Um, by the way, when I said there's, nothing positive about the United States whatsoever, which, for whatever your position on it, killing people's never good. However, sometimes it's necessary, I suppose. Not saying it is in this case. But the only positive regarding the United States that was in there was the assistance with remediation. So, obviously the U.S. has put a lot of time, effort, and money into environmental remediation. And, I stand by the fact that the U.S. is a good country with good people. I stand by that. Does that mean we're perfect? No way. But war sucks, man. War sucks. I think, my takeaway is the more we learn, the more we can hopefully avoid things like that in the future. Not that I have any control over it, other than my vote. But yeah, just hearing about the carnage is terrible, no matter whose side you're on. Hearing about the carnage is really, really bad. Really, really bad. But it's an interesting museum. So the admission is $4. the hop on hop off gave me a ticket included with my hop on hop off, so that saved me $4, and it was $29 for the hop on hop off for 2 days. Tomorrow's the third day, and it's actually good till 3 o'clock. But I have made the rounds big time. Today I ran out of time. I ran out of juice, and I'm also out of battery, so I'm going to be shutting this video down. But I skipped the Saigon History Museum, and maybe I'll do that tomorrow if they're open. You know, tomorrow's the New Year day. The best I can tell, most things are open, so I'll do some research and see if it's open or not. But thumbs up to the hop on hop off. They do a good job. That blue/purple line that goes to Chinatown, I only got off once, and I'm glad. I didn't really enjoy that part of it. But if you want to be able to get around the entire city in a short period of time, this is definitely the way to do it. I did it in Hanoi, and I've done it here, and I've done it all over the world actually, in a lot of cities. And it's a great way to see a large place in a short period of time, and the narration is good too. You know. All right, let me get back on the bus, head back to the hotel for happy hour, and maybe I'll stay up for the party tonight, and maybe I won't. And I know I probably won't make the fireworks at midnight, but they'll be right outside my window, so we'll see. It'll probably wake me up no matter what. All right, it is New Year's Eve. For Lunar New Year, that is. It's not January. I've been at it all day. I sat down when I got to my room for 5 minutes before dinner, and I didn't want to get up. I can tell you that. Everybody's out today. What's interesting is that's that unfinished building, and yet it's lit up. Wonder how they did that. Maybe it's only the bottom that's not finished, but look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. See the bridge over there? This is awesome. City of 9 million. I think everybody's out tonight. Pretty awesome. They put a lot of effort into these decorations. Look, it's the Meridien, otherwise known as my home for 3 days. By the way, I know this sounds not good because it is super windy here. I'm having trouble keeping the camera straight. The wind is blowing so hard. First time I've experienced that since I've been here. But I'm sure that will come out in the recording. There's a good view of the city all lit up. We are crossing the bridge over to the other side, and you can see all the buildings. Looks awesome. All right, crossing back over to District 1 over the beautiful bridge. And there's my hotel. And there's a bunch of stuff going on this side. And a beautiful city view. It's easy to find your hotel when it's right on the river. It's got the big sign up on the top, so when you're walking, it's easy to find. That's a really nice view right there. Really nice. Town looks awesome tonight. Happy New Year 2025. In addition to all the people and all the lights, there's also the smell of food in the air. And it smells good. Oh, there's some music. They know how to do New Year in Saigon. Happy Lunar New Year. This is the view from my hotel room. So those are the main fireworks, but you can see over here in the distance all kinds of other fireworks going on in different neighborhoods. There's some right over here, but the main ones are right there. And I just saw a drone fly by my window. Wow. In fact, it's way above me, and I'm on the 20th floor. All right, Happy New Year and good night from Ho Chi Minh City. All right, good morning from Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon. Last time I'll be saying that. I am at the Meridien Hotel, and they're doing a special lion dance performance. And they are starting to get ready. And I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll check it out.
I guess he's checking into his room.
So, last day in Ho Chi Minh City, heading to Halong tomorrow, and doing something today that I haven't really done on this trip, which is to eat lunch. And that's because I've been eating so much for breakfast, you know, and trying to fit so much into my day that I've just been skipping lunch. But today I'm ready to throw in the towel. It's time to get the heck out of here. So I've stopped at the Pasture Street craft beer store. Have me a beer. And reason being is because today is Lunar New Year. And you may have noticed on the little video I just showed regarding the lion dance at the hotel that my sound wasn't too good, and that's because the microphones kept cutting out. Microphones aren't charging. They started malfunctioning on me last night. Charged it all night, didn't work. So what are the chances that I could find new microphones in Saigon on New Year's Day? What are the chances? Found it. Went to an iPhone store, which was a fake iPhone store, and he didn't have any, but he knew where to go. I hopped in a taxi, went over there. I paid 4 times more, plus it's bigger, takes up too much space, it barely fits in my pocket. Paid 4 times what it would cost on Amazon, but I guess that's why they malfunction, because they were cheap. But they work great for a year. So anyway, so I was really proud of myself that I was able to navigate halfway across town, find it. I tried to barter with him, no going. And because I was paying close attention, I knew that I was in walking distance to a bus stop, and I'm trying to drag my feet till 1 o'clock because the History Museum has lunch from 11:30 to 1. So I was going to time it just perfectly, and the bus never showed up. Guess what? They've decided to shut down for TET. And I looked at my ticket, and sure enough, it has today's date on it. So, like, they screwed me. So my 3-day ticket was only good for basically all day yesterday, and starting at 3 o'clock the first day. So, I mean, I would have bought it anyway, but I specifically asked her if it was still good today, and she said yes. And by the way, how did I find out? Their competitor was standing right there, and he was running. So, false advertising, man. Oh well, big deal. So now I'm trying to figure out whether to take a taxi over to the History Museum, and I'm not positive they're open. Anybody that tells you that don't come here during TET and all that, I mean, I would say 50% of everything's open. Some things are closed. So I don't know if the museum's open or not. Their website doesn't say they're closed. So I may waste a cab ride over and then have to come right back. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. That's why I'm having my beer, so I can chill out, man. So that's been my morning, and the hotel had a little bit of bait and switch going too. They had that event at the concierge lounge last night. It was supposed to be from 10 to midnight. So it's supposed to be champagne and craft cocktails and all this stuff. So I show up at 10 o'clock, and they said, oh no, it doesn't start till 10:30. And where's your ticket? What ticket? So they wanted like $20-some for 1 glass of champagne and a charcuterie plate, which I didn't need. It's like, the time's wrong. They never said it cost anything. It's like, I'm not paying you $20 for a glass of champagne. So there was a little bait and switch action there on part of the hotel, but beyond that, the hotel's been awesome, but I didn't appreciate that. And I went back and looked at the marketing materials, because, you know, anytime you're in a foreign country and you don't understand something, you're probably the issue, right? You know? But I went back and looked, and sure enough, you know, same thing with my ticket for for the bus today. I mean, I've got the proof that she said they were open. I mean, it's in writing. They're not open. So anyway, I got to get up at 2:30 tonight to go to the airport. So I'll chill out here, eat lunch, go back to the hotel, and maybe I'll go to the museum. I'm about 50-50 on that. I really did want to do it, but at this point, sometimes you got to know when it's time to throw in the towel. So I'm going to drink my beer, wait on my food, and I came into this place because they had craft beer and pizza. And then after I sit down, they said, "Oh, we don't have pizza because we have a TET menu." So I'm getting some kind of weird sausage and fries. That may or may not be edible. Well, not really a sausage aficionado, but it seems like the best thing to have. So I'll tell you what, though, there's a lot of people out. It's kind of chill today. I like it. I like this city. And I'm going to wrap a bow around Saigon and the hotel and stuff like that when I get to the lounge tonight for dinner. Signing off for now. All right, so I am at the Ho Chi Minh History Museum. Guess I'm a glutton for punishment today. This is the courtyard. I'm not going to bore you with everything inside, but there is a lot. I'm not a museum person, but it's rather interesting. They've got statues, carvings, stone tablets, weapons, tools. I found the musical instrument part rather interesting. And there's a mummy. It's like a dead body laying there. Kind of creepy, but kind of cool, I guess. But even though, I'm not a museum person, it's kind of cool to just walk through there and see some of the stuff. And there's all kinds of good information on the history. If you want to go back thousands of years, you could spend hours at this place if that's your thing. But I can roll through a major museum in an hour easily. It's kind of the way I roll. But I mean, what do I care, and how am I going to remember what happened 1,500 years ago? I'm not. So that doesn't work. But anyway, it's kind of interesting. It was $30,000 to get in, which is about $1.25. Not too bad. I got in the wrong taxi, so I got ripped off on that. Cost me about $8 to get here. Again, the tour bus would have dropped me off here, but they ripped me off. So I've gotten ripped off a couple times. But the funny part about it, everything is so cheap. Even when you get ripped off, it's still cheap. And there is a water puppet show happening here in a few minutes. I have not asked them if I can film in there, and I've also not asked them how long it is. I'm not going to sit through an hour-long show, but that's something I was supposed to do in Hanoi, and I never did. I never ran across one, nor did I have time. But the water puppet show is $120,000, which is $5. So, $1.25 to get in the museum, $5 to go to the water puppet show. So, thinking about doing it just to say I have done it, but yeah, probably rather be sitting at the pool at this point. I've seen everything I need to see in this town, and but again, I'm a glutton for punishment, so I'll probably do it. Go ask them if I can film and how long it is. All right, so I'm in the water puppet theater. There's the little pond, and the performers operate the puppets from underneath the water with some kind of poles. And this is a very ancient form of entertainment in these parts, so should be interesting. They said no problem filming. It's 40 minutes long, which to me seems a little longer than I would like to, but I won't be able to follow on the story for sure, but I'm sure I'll be impressed with their talent. So I will film it, just a little bit of it, when it starts momentarily.
All marine creatures lived in harmony. The mermaid Ariel lived in this stunning undersea realm, but it was increasingly polluted by human waste. Fascinated by the human world, she saved a prince from a shipwreck. To live on land, Ariel traded her enchanting voice with the sea witch, only to realize that the prince and humans did not understand the harm they were causing to the ocean. Ariel and her friends worked together to unite both worlds in protecting the sea. Marine creatures cleaned up the waste, while humans pledged to stop polluting. The prince, becoming aware of his responsibility, initiated a movement to protect the environment. The play conveys the message: love and understanding between humans and nature are the keys to safeguarding the ocean, preventing pollution, and building a sustainable future.
All right, here we go.
Đã nhiều lần ta chỉ có thể ngắm chàng từ xa trên thuyền, nay đã được gặp chàng rồi. Ôi, dung mạo của chàng thật là tuyệt đẹp. Sao lòng ta cảm thấy xao xuyến đến vậy? Ước gì ta...
All right, so good evening from the concierge lounge at the La Meridien in Saigon. I'm going to be leaving here in about 8 hours, so I got to get to bed, so I'm just waiting for them to put the beer out. They already got the food out, but for whatever reason the beer's not out yet. So since I'm going to have an early morning and I don't know how much time I will have in the lounge, and we'll wrap a bow around this thing now. First of all, start with the hotel. The hotel is awesome. Perfect location, great room, unbelievable breakfast. Lounge food is okay. Lounge is kind of hectic. It's big. There's a lot of people here. So, you know, I'd give it, if it wasn't for the bait and switch with the party last night, I'd give them a 9 out of 10 probably. I mean, it's a great hotel, great location. 56,000 points for 3 nights. So, love Marriott, love the treatment, and thumbs up for these guys. Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon. Had a great time. Really good time. Big city, but easy to get around. The hop on, hop off was a great way to do it in a short period of time. But today I took probably about a $20 hit taking taxis around because they were closed when they were supposed to be open. So they kind of screwed me over. But great city. You know, when I compare it to Hanoi, it's different now. I'll be back in Hanoi for about a day before I fly home. But my initial impressions are, I mean, they're both great, but they're different, you know. So Saigon is more upscale, cosmopolitan, trendy, hip, stuff like that. I didn't care for Chinatown whatsoever, but I had no problem finding some place to eat or anything like that here. In fact, the lunch I had today was was awesome, really good, really good. Hanoi, on the other hand, is grittier, more hectic, harder to cross the street, all that good stuff. But it's got its own little charm in its own way, So they're very different, and so that's kind of cool. But I'll let you know if I update that opinion when I spend a little bit more time in Hanoi, because I've spent more time here than I have in Hanoi. So I'll be back there in a couple days' time, and I will be flying out tomorrow morning on Vietnam Airlines at 6 a.m. So I hope to report from the lounge once I get there and get situated. I'm hoping to get some breakfast in the lounge, even though it'll be 5 o'clock in the morning. Because it's a 2-hour flight, I have no clue if they're serving anything on the airplane. I didn't see anything that talked about that at all. Also, Vietnam Airlines is part of SkyTeam, and I'm a SkyTeam elite, so we'll see if my Delta status and my SkyTeam status does anything for me whatsoever in the morning. It is indicated on my boarding pass, so for sure I should be able to go through like fast track security and stuff like that, so that should be good. And it's a domestic flight, so no immigration. So that's it. Signing out from Saigon, and good night, and we'll check in the morning. I'm getting ready to go get myself a beer. Just a quick update on the lounge situation here in Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon. So I'm sitting there. I got some of that food over there at the La Saigonese. Absolutely the worst food I ever had in a lounge. It was friggin' horrible. And I look out the window and I see this other lounge sitting here. I think the reason I went to the other one is this one didn't open till 4:30. So I ran over here, and this is the Saigon Vista Lounge. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, you can see swanky, brand new furniture. I mean, it's complete opposite of the other place. So I'm excited, I go up, they have a proper cappuccino machine, everything's great. And I start looking at the food. It's the same exact food. It's like catered by the same place, but they've got a couple extra things. They actually had some yogurt. So I'm just having cappuccino and yogurt. That food's disgusting. But this is a nice lounge, so if I had a choice, I'd come to this one instead of the other one. That other one was so depressing. It was so dark, disgusting. I don't know why anybody would go to that one if they could come to this one, but I didn't even know better. So anyway, I think there's a meal on the plane. We'll see what happens. All right, Saigon Vista Lounge. Thumbs up on the atmosphere, thumbs down on the food. La Saigonese Lounge, thumbs down all the way. Ugh, horrible, horrible lounge.